I forgot I was muted. Sorry. Oh gosh, I said technical difficulties. I was saying when you couldn't hear me that I apologize. I was trying to get animes get up so you could see my model, and it wasn't going very quickly. It is working now, however, so that is good. We are going to be doing some Genshin. We're going to be looking at this Record of Reflective Writing, which is an event that's happening. I'm surprised it only lasts for 5 days. I mean, their events are in this patch are very short. I mean, even the one to get the bow is like 9 days, and that's it. And it's already over. Like, gone completely. So, let's go to our quest and see what's up. Imaginary Maze of True Heroes. Okay, so we're going on stat. Switch to my party team. Or I should say story team. This story team. Oh, I wonder if she's talking about us. Aha! You're here, and even sooner than expected. Time for a cheer to celebrate our reunion. Twin stars of brilliant valor. It's been too long, old friend. Wait, who are you again? I remember her. Yeah. Yeah, because we met her when Yamiko came to Sumeru for that whole fungi event. I'm being hunted down by Yay Publishing House's editors. Uh-oh. Hunted down. That sounds exhausting. I guess you have no choice. Who would have thought it? I think Paimon used to reckon light novelists had it easy. Labyrinth of Legend, a hero's journey. Beat up. Poor Soka. So basically, she's using us to come up with the story for her. At least she's putting us as the co-writer and splitting the proceeds. Bimo with little thumbs up. Give it. Oh, we got. Let's see. Alright, so the challenge contains both collection and evasion phases, and you will have to evade periodic incoming barrages from the mechanisms while collecting labyrinth coins during the allotted time. Collect labyrinth coins to gain points, adventure risk, and risk level. The higher the risk level, the greater the volume of incoming fire, and the more labyrinth coins will appear. If no labyrinth coins are collected for some time, risk energy will rapidly decrease. How did you get on, Rhea? The script has a lot of background info. You must have come up with a few ideas for the plot. Yes, I haven't even gone in. You haven't told me where it is yet. Of course, before we do that, can we talk about the planning? Any news about Anya? I'll give it some thought. I'll talk to her about that other stuff later, but where? Oh, I guess maybe... Okay. They put it as just a... go to the menu and then hit start, not like travel to some specific place and then go, which is good. Let's see. We gotta collect coins and avoid all the stuff. Oh.
enough.
Oh, we got a pink one. We did good. Oh, yeah. If 600 is the highest we really need to go, and we got like twice that much, I can see why we got pink. It's nice though. Get some Primo gems. See, oh, we're using Cloud Retainer. Her name sounds so similar to Shenhe. No, she's Shenhe. The other one is her name is too similar to her students. I keep messing them up. Not just double jumping. Jen Yoon. Oh, gee.
Scatter!
Oh. This was harder.
Yeah! Scatter! Yeah! Scatter! Yeah! Inconsequential! Skyward! Yeah! Derivative!
Eee.
Yeah! Scatter! Skyward! Yeah! Scatter! Skyward! Yeah! Scatter! Skyward! Yeah! Scatter! Skyward!
Oh, nope.
Yeah! Scatter! Skyward!
Okay. I can see why it is a little bit harder. The next one will be done 15 hours. But yeah, so technically this whole thing should take about 3 days to do if you do each one. I guess makes sense because it's only going to last for 5 days. That's pretty quick. Yeah, I'm assuming that at this point that they are using the Archon quest and both Cloran and Sejuine's quest to do the whole, oh yes, here you can have more playable characters visible. Because, I mean, they just did the main event and there was no playable characters in that. They had some mentions, but they were all NPCs, so. Alright. Well, that was pretty quick and easy. Oh, we got enough for commissions. So change over to my friendship team. He's 8, 9, 7. Oh, they're getting there. Yep. I know. The other day, I heard people complaining. They were like, "Why does this thing have to pop up and blah blah blah?" And I was like, "Well, it's because they put this in, and people were forgetting to go collect their last 20 Primo gems." And the thing is, it must have been happening enough that Mihoyo was like, "Oh, whoops," and basically put in that safety feature. Thing is, if you could, as you will see, as soon as you come down here and talk to Catherine,
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
and collect your stuff, the little red exclamation point will go away.
Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward.
Catherine? See, it went away, so there you go.
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Great, got that done. That event took me a lot less time than I thought. But it does give us an opportunity to go do some other stuff. Yeah, I think it's like... How can I put it?
Mind the side effects. A bitter pill to swallow.
I think... I'm trying to say what I want to say for my polling plans, but they're so much up in the air. Because originally I was gonna pull for Siege Wing, but then Emily came out, or was drip marketed, and I was like, oh, she actually looks, kind of cute, and she's a Dendro character, and if I get her, I'll have all my Dendro characters.
Truly. If you ever have it.
Anyway, I originally was going to pull for Siege Wing, but then I saw Emily came out, and Emily is a Dendro character, and I actually have all of the Dendro characters. For example, if you look here, character archive, go Dendro, I have everybody. Okay, and Emily is going to be the only Dendro Fontanian. I mean, Kirara came out during Fontaine, but she's not a Fontanian, she's an Inazuman. She's actually, it's kind of funny the way it works, because currently we have Sumeru, Leeway, Sumeru, Leeway, and Inazuma. We don't have any Mondstadt Dendros, and Emily will be our first Fontaine Dendro. So, part of me wants to pull her because I'm like, hey, she's I have all the Dendro characters, and if I skip her, then I, won't be able to have that anymore. I think with the other ones too, I'm missing like one of everybody. At least one. Yeah, I'm like missing Linny and Chevris. Let's see. When I'm missing Kazuha and Zhao. I don't have Chiori or Albedo. I have a lot of the Hydras except Nilu, so that's at least one bit. Yeah, Electros, I'm missing Cloran because I'm not rolling for her, and I still did not have a Kaching. Kaching can come home! On the standard banner, please. Don't make me lose my 50-50. All of you do, I won't be too mad. And then, of course, Cryo, I'm missing Eula and Shenhe. That's her name, Shenhe. So, the only one I currently have all of is Dendro. So I kind of want to make sure I still have those. However, Natlan's coming up. And apparently, Emily is supposed to be, like, good at burning or something. So she's kind of a good representative or good helper. I don't know if you call her a support, but she definitely is supposed to work well with Natlan. Because, I mean, hey, it's a land of pyro. The thing is, from what the rumors I heard, is she might be in the second phase. And if that's the case, then we should be either... I guess even if she was in the first phase. Because if we're going to have drip marketing before 4.8, and we're also going to be having the live stream before 4.8. The drip marketing is definitely going to be Natlan characters, because we're going into Natland, and in 5.0. And hopefully in the stream, they will provide a little like, oh, here is a Natland preview of some of the characters. And so you can kind of be like, ooh, and get excited and be like, oh, I want that one, or I want this one. And then it kind of gets into this whole thing of, oh my gosh. So what might end up happening is I might go and do like Rolling to Pity for Emily and see if she shows up. And if she does, great. And if she doesn't and I lose the 50-50, then at least I have a guaranteed for Natland. But I haven't made up my mind yet, because again, it's the whole, oh, he's supposed to be good for Natland, and also
Stabilize.
Yoo-hoo! Watch out! Hey there! Fire! Well, with rocks.
she's supposed to be good for Natland, and also I want to have all the Dendro characters, so...
Order guide you. Gather.
Watch out!
But, to be honest, the whole thing with pulling is kind of the same thing that happened to me with Fontaine. Right? Like, Fontaine got started, and I had my funds, and I roll on characters, saw where they left me, and then used that as a savings for the next character, and just kept saving. That's basically what you have to do. If you don't want to, like... And I buy Welcome Moon and the Battle Pass, so those both help out a lot. Plus we have events and things like that, which are completely free. So... I've never had to, like, do a quote-quote top-up or anything. Because I find buying Welcome gives you more bang for your buck when it comes down to it. Even if you have to wait a little while. It also helps you when you calculate out how many fates you'll have at a certain given point. You know, like for example, if we look at mine, right? Like right now I have 222. And Floran's banner, yeah, hers is gonna be down in 7 days. So basically, you take that 120 or that 222 plus 7 for the rest of her banner, plus 21 for Sijuin's banner, and then if you plus the whole of 4.8, which would be about 42 fates, you know, I'll have, what was it? I think it was like 290 fates by the time Natlin drops, and that is if I don't pull on anybody. However, if I do a kind of 50-50 thing for Emily, and hopefully I get her, and if I don't, that's okay. I think after I calculated it out, if I just roll 90 for her, I will have 180, so in case there's like, ooh, a Natlin character pops up and I really, really want them in the 5.0, I'll be ready to get them. The thing is, I actually have skipped the first banners occasionally. You know, like, of course, Mondstadt and Leeway don't really count because they kind of had all their characters come out, but for example, like we got into Inazuma, I didn't pull for Kazuha. You know, I end up kind of putting him on a side, and I got Ayaka instead. Ayaka actually came with my first D-Luke too, which is kind of cool.
Duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
You know, so you have like that one, and then we got to Sumeru, and I did roll for Tignari. Tignari was the new 5-star in the 4.0. No, right, 3.0. And then we got to Fontaine, and the first 5-star character was Linny, and I skipped him because I wanted Niviolette, and I also wanted to get Farina. I ended up having to skip Risley because I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to squeak out a Risley. I think I did pull on his banner a little bit, but he didn't show up. So I'll have to get him during his rerun, whenever that is. And hopefully it's in a good spot. But, so it's going to be kind of questionable on, okay, if 5.0 is going to drop, what characters are they going to introduce, and if I'm going to pull for them. If I'm not going to pull for them, because I guess that's one good thing about the whole thing with Emily, because if 5.0 comes out or gets grip marketed and I'm not really thrilled with the 5 stars, for that one I'll be like, okay, I can pretty much pull for Emily and not have to worry about having to have the 180 for Natlin right from the get-go. Of course, I'm gonna want to get the Pyro Archon and any like dragon character they have, probably, just because, I mean, they're the Archon.
A bitter pill to swallow. Stabilize.
Strike a pose! Watch out! Hey there! Attack! That's the way! Ha! Ha-ha! Watch out! Now!
This is order.
Let the world collide! Yup!
If I just poked him in the butt. And that's why I'm kind of fighting this guy, because apparently Emily needs these drops, so I'm sort of like, okay, let's do a little bit of pre-farming. Really, is it? I always forget when her... I know. I know some people have been saying things like, "Oh, I hope that I don't know how you say her name exactly. Insane? It's a during the Teyvat trailer, which was put way back, they gave kind of previews of some of the characters. So Diluc, Cyno,
When on the
Ayaka,
road,
etc.
one should take ample time to
And the
pause
character that they picked for that
appreciate-
was, for the character they picked for that preview for Natland was Insane. And Insane is like a small, dark-skinned girl, tiny girl model with a claymore. So kind of like Sayu, basically. And people are all like, "Oh, I wonder if she's going to be the first one," which she might be. It's kind of weird because
along the way.
let me see. Yeah, I think if you go through the character archive, because for the trailer you had Diluc, who is a standard, so he was already in the game. For Leeway, it ended up being Niguan. Niguan, where are you? Yeah, here she is. So it was Niguan. So she was already in the game. Get her. And then for Inazuma, it was Ayaka, but she didn't come out first. It was Kazuha
A
who
blade
came
embraces
first,
its duty,
which made total
as a
sense
jeweler
considering
cherishes
you
their
met
gems.
Kazuha when you have to when you meet up with Beto for the tournament because you need her help to get to Inazuma. So it makes total sense for to have him as playable at that point. Although I remember people were so mad, or they were some people were, because they so wanted Ayaka that when she
A
wasn't the
blade
first
embraces its duty.
Inazuma character, some people threw a hissy fit. But you had that, and then for Fontaine, it was Linny and Lynette, and they did both come out in the first Fontaine patch. So Insane might end up being the first Natlan character, which
You're about to collapse, aren't you?
I mean, I guess she's okay. I think the way probably didn't respond, did he? Nope, not yet. Let's come down here, fight this guy.
The doctor was
Gather!
strike a pose! Coming at ya! Hey there! Ha-ha! Nah!
Too close. To be honest, I think with my preference with characters, like if you were to put them all on a line and say, okay, you know, who are you going to pull for first? It usually boils down to, and this can vary a little bit, but I usually go for, like, because I'm a lady and such like that, of the heterosexual variety, as far as I know, I tend to lean towards the tall male characters first, followed by the tall female characters, followed by kind of equally, I guess, between the medium female and the medium male characters, and then that followed by the small female characters. That's kind of usually how I go by it. It doesn't always work. It kind of depends on what the characters look like and things like that. Like, for example, I end up rolling for Nahida, okay, because one, she was an Archon, and two, her story was so sad. I was like, oh, poor Nahida. you know, she's been trapped. She never was able to feel the grass under her feet. We got to take her out of there and take her with us. She's gonna travel to Tibet with us. That type of idea, which I think the story might have messed it up a teeny tiny bit. Not horribly, but how to put it? Spoiler for anybody who hasn't finished Sumeru. Basically, what happened was that you helped the Hida break out of jail, or the Temple of Surastana, and you went and you fixed Irmisville, the tree, the big tree, Irmisville, big tree, and you did that because you had to erase the memory and existence of Rukkhadevata. The thing is with Nahida, okay, Nahida was full of doubt. They're really pretty. Basically, Nahida was full of doubt on if she could be a good Archon and things like that, because, you know, the sages had locked her away with the intent purpose of, oh, you're not any good, you're not very smart or very wise, or, to be honest, she is very wise. She just wasn't very knowledgeable because she was, like, just born. But because she was an immediate genius, they both basically wrote her off, and also I think they kind of were, like, doing a bid for power, honestly. So it was more of a fact that the sages at the time were crooked versus actually judging for Nahida fairly.
A bitter pill to
Order guide you. Solidify.
Yoo-hoo! Coming at ya! Watch out! A proper send-off!
You know, and so she was very kind of unsure of herself and things like that, which is understandable. And I kind of wanted to see her, you know, being accepted by her people, and then, you know, sort of giving her a big hug and saying that, no, we love you, you know, please stay with us, you know, etc., etc. But we didn't really get that, because basically what happened
a bitter pill to
was that
swallow.
when Rukkhadevata was got rid of, the tree rewrote pretty much everybody except the travelers' memories, and so they now believe that basically Rukkhadevata never existed, and Nahida is the one who did all that stuff.
Life, death, and the world around us all follow.
You know, and so, and the thing is, including Nahida, right? So even Nahida is was pretty much brainwashed / manipulated by the tree
Set of laws.
into thinking that she
But if you never test the limits, how can anyone know where the boundaries of these laws are?
that even she thinks that that she already did that stuff, which basically completely took away any of her like self-doubt, and it was basically, it was a quick fix, because while I wanted her to be able to get over her self-doubt and, you know, become more confident and be like, you know, you could do this. It's sort of like I wanted it to happen naturally. You know, I wanted it to be that we saw her improve and we saw her get, you know, get better and things like that, instead of the whole like quick fix. Oh, she was always doing that stuff. She was always been in charge. She's always been the, or no, actually, because I think what they did is they do a the way that the whole memory thing, I think, turned out.
Welcome to Palais Mermoni.
I've been waiting for you for ages.
I think the whole way that it ended up turning out was that everything that Ruka Devata did, they attributed to Nihida. So according to the people's minds, they have seen a quote-unquote adult Nihida, even though it was Ruka Devata. And then they were like, oh, originally Ruka Devata had used her power and ended up shrinking herself into, when she was trying to deal with the whole corruption and, you know, forbidden knowledge and all that type of stuff. So then that's when she shrunk. And since it's all attributed to Nihida now, nobody questions, oh, why is Nihida a little girl? Oh, well, it's because, not that she was born only 500 years ago, but because she shrank. And then after she shrank, the sages tried to do a bid for power. They locked her away in the sanctuary of Surastana. And she's been there ever since. Which also kind of ends up bringing up to the question, in my opinion, of how are these people rationalizing why they never did anything about it? I guess they're going on the idea that, oh, the sages lied to us and that they said that she was willingly in there, and now we found out that no, she has not been willingly put in there. You know, because originally the sanctuary of Surastana,
What they say is true.
you know, was supposed to be a place where Ruka Devata went and
Thank you for inviting me to join you.
where Ruka Devata would go to meditate, and she could lock the door from the inside, and so nobody else could get in, but she could get out. Well, when the whole thing happened, the sages basically made it where they locked the door from the outside, and then Nihida couldn't get out. So I guess that must be how they're rationalizing it.
Stabilize.
Strike a pop!
Silence.
No. Also, too, as soon as Ruka Devata left and Doctori showed up,
I will have order.
there's a part in there that Nihida kind of scared me.
Bow your head.
Because, the Doctori shows up and basically all that they, hang on, I'm gonna wander around a little bit more and look for more mechas before I just go diving into the ocean. Doctori showed up, and he was like, "Oh, I'd like to do a trade to get to Gnosis, Gnosis. It's either Gnosai or Gnosises, but whichever. The two that Nikita had, because she had both the Dendro and the Electro one from Scaramouche. And so he ends up trading the Electro-Gnosis for Nahita's, for a request, there we go, for a request from Nahita, which basically boiled down to, I know you have other segments, and that's unnatural for some reason, so I want you to get rid of them. And he says, okay, and then systematically kills his own segments. Which I guess it was supposed to show how, you know, how evil Doctori is. That he's willing to just completely, you know, get rid of even his own selves in order to get what he wants and so on. But I was like, holy cow, you asked for that. You could be a scary little girl.
Bow your heads.
Especially too, how it's not just like, oh, he goes and says, okay, it's done. Because the thing is, he knows that Nahita can read his mind. He's taking pictures, that's funny. Like he knows that Nahita can read his mind because one, he's in Sumeru, and two, apparently he is a Sumerian. Because he was born and raised in Sumeru.
Mind the side effects.
And so she's able to read his mind and basically hear the screaming cries of the other segments as they die, because he apparently has a mental link with them. And it's like, holy cow. Also, apparently one of those segments was a child, which makes it even worse. And the thing is, Nahita doesn't even bat an eye. It's like, that's what she asked for, and that's what he gave her, and she's just like, okay. I'm like... Now, there's not saying he can't make more segments, and maybe he lied, and basically, the whole thing, they just thought that they were being done away with, and they're actually fine. However, you know, it's still kind of... Yikes. Luckily, she doesn't have that attitude for very long, or for very much. The next time we keep running into her, she's like, oh, she's back to kind of the nice Nahita. Look at Elise. Yeah. To be honest, I think Fontaine is the best place to get crystal flies, because since you have the same mobility as them underwater, they're a lot easier to grab. Also, apparently, Emily might be needing the mechanical drops, which I was talking to, I don't know if I was telling Blaze or if I was talking about it in chat, but I said how it's very ironic for me where they talk about how these underwater basically the underwater mech creatures are hurting the wildlife because they were put in the water to clean up trash, except that they themselves think that the fish are trash. And so they keep attacking any fish they can get their mouths on, which obviously isn't good. And then for the ones that are running around in like the wild, they've either gone rogue or they're being owned by villains who were criminals who are up to no good. So in a way, you would think, oh, that means a lot of the characters should need them as drops, right? No. In fact, you have a huge amount of characters who want the drops from the little critters in the sea. So it's like, okay, so these critters are having a hard enough time as it is, and now you want me to go hunt them for drops. I mean, I was just like, that's just so backwards. Like, let me hunt the mecha things that are actually causing issues. I know it was so weird too, because I found out that Niviolette needed the sea life drops, the pearls, I believe they're called. And so I was sort of like, okay, not thrilled about that, but I really want Niviolette and I want to use him, so I basically went and said to myself, okay, I will do this, but I will only do it for him, and then I will not hurt the little creatures ever again unless like they Argo me or something. And then in that case, it's like, okay, you gotta kind of sort of fight back. And that worked for a little while. Until they put out Navia. And she also needed them. So I was just like, oh no. I gotta beat up the poor little sea creatures again. I think Fremine needs them too. But I'm like, I'm sorry, Fremine. Maybe I'll level you up someday, but not today. The little sea creatures need a hand, or need to take a break from me beating them up. Ugh. The music for the underwater portions of Fontaine, it is just so beautiful. I mean, all of Genshin's music's beautiful, really, but it brings such a peaceful type of feeling, kind of like Chen Yu Vale. It's also kind of fun to go into like the grasses and just be like, woo. They just look so soft. Yeah, I know it's kind of interesting because you had in Fontaine, you had the whole, Focalor and Farina thing, and even though Focalor is, officially gone, um, we just did Cloran's story quest, and Farina kind of had that whole, oh, stop, I have to think about stuff, and there would be two Farinas on screen. So in a way, it's almost like Focalor is still around. A little bit. I saw an animation that someone did where Farina wore Focalor's dress and was like acting as Focalor as just to have fun. And while she was sort of fooling around, a vase fell off a top shelf and almost hit her, and Nivulette jumped in to save her.
Settle down.
And it was like, yeah, that dress is bad luck. At the end of the animation, they even had warning, do not touch, off limits. There's some over here.
Bow your head.
Anyway. This is indeed a ship. I know when I first saw this, I thought to myself, I don't know if that's such a good idea to leave that hanging like that, because that thing's gonna get rusty at some point, which it already seems to be, and it's just gonna crack off and then smash down into Poisson, which hopefully it'll only land in the river. But, like, that guy, probably doomed. To be honest, I know during the story you had that whole thing with Hassan getting flooded by the primordial waters and all that thing and all that stuff. And what I'm surprised by is how have they not been flooded before? I mean, they are below sea level here with the waterfall going down into them. If we get any good storm and just whoosh. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is very neat. Neat type of city and everything. But I'm just like, Also, I hope this guy gets a new job. We do commission for him, and his boss sounds horrible. It's like, please, sir, go find a safer and better job. Oh. I was gonna say, I was like, wait a minute, where is this thing? It's all the way down here.
Settle down. This is order. Solidify!
Yoo-hoo!
A bitter pill to swallow.
Ugh.
A camera can't imitate the stroke of a brush.
He is right in that sense.
The doctor will see you. Shower me with the...
Gather! Bow your head.
These things are like dropping one gear.
Settle down!
Yeah, basic gear. One. And that's like the lowest of the low. And I'm gonna let world level 8. Yeah. Like, if you guys need any of these, start pre-farming now.
A bitter pill to swallow.
I will have order!
Strike a pop!
Silence!
Oh, also too, I forgot to count. Oh, look at the little board over there. That's so cute. I forgot to account for this, but if they bring back that that one banner or the oh, what was it called? It wasn't the Wish. It was the one where it was like, oh, here is a selection of 5 stars from this region, and here's their weapons. And so like last time we had like D-Luke, Jean, Albedo, Klee, and I think Ula, and like their weapons and a few others. We don't know when that's going to come back, and I have a feeling it's going to be one of those things where it probably won't happen every patch, because so far it hasn't, but it will be like, oh, here, we did a Mondstadt one, next time we'll do a Leeway one, then an Azuma one, then a Sumeru one, then a Fontaine one, and then we'll go back and start a Mondstadt one again, and so on and so forth. Which I think the whole thing is a good idea. It's also a lot easier to apparently get the weapons on that one, because at max, you only have to roll 180
Solidify!
to get a copy versus
Taking a turn for the better.
This is order. Stabilize. Silence.
Picked the wrong test subject.
I got kind of jammed in the corner. I was like, I have no idea what's happening. I'm just firing. Oh. They are literally right there.
Gather. Bow your head. The tides beckon. Settle down.
The big guys drop more, I will say. I guess in a way it's sort of the same thing like the, oh, whatchamacallit. The Noba Nushi, or the basically the rogue samurai, the Ronin guys. You know? That the samurai themselves drop a lot more drops than the smaller versions of themselves, which may drop a drop and may not.
Order guide you. Stabilize.
Like, that guy dropped a lot more than just... Okay, you guys, down. Honestly, that's the one problem with Farina's little guys there, is that if they have nothing to attack, or like no enemies to attack, they'll find the nearest like interactable item and start mauling it. Which wouldn't be that bad of a thing, except they also drain your HP. So it's like, down you guys, down!
Mind the side effects.
The doctor will see you now.
Farina, recall your puppies! How about we go for a little ride? That'd be fun. It's gonna feel kind of funny because when you think about it, this is sort of our last patch in Fontaine, because the next patch is going to be the summer event, and that usually takes place in a temporary world. So in that case, this will basically be our last time in the actual Fontaine before we move on to Natland. I mean, it's not like the Fontaine's going to disappear, but it feels kind of funny because For the longest time, like since Genshin first started, and they said, "Ooh, Fontaine," and it's like France, and that's the idea, and or like they said it's like steampunk France, and I was like, "Oh gosh, that sounds so cool! I can't wait to see it." And then it finally came out.
Oh, it's just some chronic problem I have flaring up again. Nothing to worry about.
You know, and then it finally came out, and now it's finally finishing up. And it's very bittersweet, I guess. Take this. Wait. Yeah, that's one nice thing about Freena. She can actually use both of those energies. So if you really need them. There's the Jade Chamber. Over there is temple. The blown up. Where is some of Chen Yu Vale? Oh, there's Subaru. I was like, I know it's around here somewhere. Where's the big tree? There's the Desseret's tomb, and there's the big tree. It's kind of funny because we can see. Well, wait, because that's the tree. There's that. And then that way is water and some distant mountains. That's the direction Farina's facing. So I still find it funny that when it first got started, the only way into Fontaine was like this little alley right here. They basically wind that out though with putting this in, but I really still think they should put like little islands or something here, because since you can't swim in it, it's not, I mean, you can go under. I mean, like, this is all there is, really. You can't, like, dive into it because the Sea of Bygone Eras is, like, its own thing. It's supposed to be underneath, it's supposed to be under here, okay? But the thing is, you can't dive down into it. It's, like, too deep. It's kind of like the same thing with Encounter. Although, well, yeah, this one's a little different because, like, you get here, jump down a pool, and then go through the Faded Castle until you find basically a mirror that will take you into the Sea of Bygone Eras. Which, that itself is very nice, but this space is just so empty. A lot of people were kind of disappointed. They were like, why is it so empty? Even the little bit of extra Sumeru they gave us has, like, very little in it. I mean, they did give us this nice little harbor because originally Sumeru kind of cut off like right along here. But again, they were like, there's really not a lot, there's not much here. I think a couple people said there's like 2 chests, which I think I put in the survey at one point. I was like, oh, could you maybe over time put in a few more islands or something to just kind of fill up this area? Because that's a kind of a big space for there to be nothing in it. I mean, even if you put like, ooh, hilly churl water camps or something, because you can take a boat. There are 2 wave rider waypoints that you can call your boat and go around, but there's really no point to because there's nothing in here. So anyway. But yeah. Okay. Well, I think I might wrap it up for today. Because let's see, we did the daily commissions, we did the event, or technically we got the points for the daily commissions. We didn't technically do the daily commission. And oh, we didn't finish this. I have to finish that. Hang on. This is probably why I got thrown off, because I was like, oh, I pretty much ran out of resin, which means we have to wait a little bit longer. Unless I just kind of go, okay. I could also use a fragile resin, but I've been working hard today. I'm kind of tired. I also have stuff that I need to do this evening, so. Yeah. I think maybe I'll just call it here. We are up over here. Okay. So yeah, so tomorrow, or I should say right now, or close to right now, Honkai Star Rail is going into its maintenance for 2.3, and so we will be playing a little bit of Honkai Star Rail tomorrow morning after it has become, it's come back up. I'm not planning on pulling for Firefly, and I already have Rune Mei, but we will be going into the story and stuff like that. I am caught up in that point, and I kind of want to see what happens and all that, so we'll be doing some of that. We're doing that. Thursday, I think it's going to be more Genshin. Friday and Saturday, taking a break. Sunday is probably going to be a little bit more Genshin. We'll get to do some of that. And to be honest, I was hoping the Wuthering Waves stream was going to be this weekend, but I don't know. I mean, it's only Tuesday, and if Pearl Games is following the pattern that kind of Genshin put down, we'll probably find out on if they're going to have a live stream by Wednesday. Because some people are already writing it off that we're not going to have one. Because they had to move the other stuff ahead, or not that they had to, they decided to move some of the other stuff ahead. So, but I will keep an eye on it. There is some rumor that's going to be on Sunday at like 9:30. But I don't know about that. We will have to see. I will keep you guys informed on my Discord and my Twitter, and also I'll put something on for the little Twitch once I figure it out, for like actual, not a, oh, somebody leaked and said they thought this was it. So, but we'll have to. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming, and I kind of wish the event was a little bit longer, but hey, I think they're doing like really short, quick events, which, because I'm assuming that because they're working on the summer event and also Natland, and that's always a lot of stuff to worry about. So there you go with that. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming and for checking us, playing some Genshin with me. And I will see you all later. Okay, bye. Thank you for coming.